So we were trying to show that if n is a variable, what would be the number of inputs to the sorting problem? So input is an array, and question is sort this. Now we said size could be anything, so which means all possible values of size 1. With this, take all possible values of size 2, and with this you take all possible values for 3 and union, and it can go all the way up to n times, so which means this is possible. So if it is k sized array and k is fixed, you see that you will multiply this k times, which means you list all possible vectors or inputs of size k, and each entry comes from I, so this is equivalent to saying I power k. Whereas this one is I union I square, union I cube, and union all the way up to this. So which means if you look at this, each input is finite in the sense that once you give a value for this I, this I, this I, and so on, you see that each vector is fixed, it's finite. So each vector or input is finite of size k. Whereas over here, the input what you supply can be infinite in nature. See, can we really supply such an input? That's a different question. But what we are looking at from the theoretical perspective is, for this question, how many different inputs are there? So to any problem or any algorithm, when you implement in practice through some programming language, naturally you will only supply finite inputs. But what we are asking is the number of possible inputs. So number of possible inputs, in that some of them could be infinite in nature. That is where you see finiteness and or the fixed and the variable, there is a clear gap. Over here, you list all possible inputs of size k, which means what you list is a vector of finite size, which is k. Over here, array could be anything. It could be one sized array or two sized array, three sized array, and it can go all the way up to this. So which means over here all inputs are finite in nature. Over here some of the inputs are infinite in nature. Infinity. So which means you may have to supply a vector something like 1, minus 1, 2, and so on. It never ends. So what you supply is an infinite input. So here is an infinite input to be supplied to A. So now we are asking what would be this union, and what would be this union. So please note, when we look at I, we know I is countably infinite. I square, which is I cross I, is countably infinite. Then I can have I cube. So I can continue this snake tail argument up to k. I cross I, k times. Now k is fixed. So this snake tail argument works as long as k is fixed. But now k becomes a variable. You have I cross I, natural number of times, then this argument will not work. Okay. So when you are doing this one for fixed time, say k, then each one is countably infinite. but the moment k becomes variable, this argument will not work. In fact, we see that when k is a variable, it is uncountably infinite. So what we will do is, we will show that power set of sigma star has got a bijective mapping to power set of n. So power set of sigma star consists of W1, W2 and so on. This will contain all subsets of this. So which means subsets of size 1, subsets of size 2 and so on. So this will have something like set containing W1 alone, set containing W2 alone, then set containing W1, W3, then set containing W5, W100, W99, like that it goes. Please note sigma star itself is countably infinite, so which means you will also have some infinite subsets as part of our listing. So what I will do, I will map this one to the set containing 1. This one is mapped to set containing 2. This one is mapped to set containing 1, 3. And this one is mapped to set containing 5, 100, 99 and so on. So basically you have something like Wi, Wj, Wk and so on. It could be an infinite subset, and that is mapped to the infinite subset I, j, k on this side. And each one is a natural number. This one is a subset of this. So you take any subset here and take that to be the indices. Pick the corresponding words from sigma star or strings from sigma star. If you find k1, k2, k3 and so on, then you pick wk1, wk2, wk3 and so on. This could be infinite. This could also be infinite. Similarly, for each of this you see a map here. For each of this you see a map here. And look at all possible subsets. Each of them take their indices. You get to see it has got a bijective map to this. That shows that power set of n is uncountable. Correct? Okay. The other thing is, very interesting part, you see that power set of n is a subset of this one, I union I square and so on up to I infinity or I natural number. So you see that power set of n is a subset of I union I square union I cube all the way up to I natural number. And this one is an input to this problem, this one is an input to this problem, this one is an input to this problem, and it also contains infinite input. Some of the inputs are infinity, for example this one, and so this one contains an uncountable set. So therefore you see that I union I square so on up to I natural number is uncountable. So if cardinality of A is a variable, then number of inputs is uncountably infinite. So this brings the natural connection between sigma star to power set of n to this one. You see that this contains power set of n which is uncountable. Therefore, number of inputs to sorting problem, if the size of the array is a variable, is uncountably infinite. And so the idea is to map our set or the set under consideration to something well known which we have proved either countably infinite or uncountable, and through that mapping you can establish these results.